Adam, has the rhythm already gotten you, my man? What is going on? You put me in like a dancing mood to start the day. Let's go, brother. How are you?
I'm good. We have a new DJ. He's not the new DJ, but we have a DJ. He's not here right now, but we have Toasty. He's our new official DJ. So all the good songs, all the bad songs, everything you can blame it on Toasty. All right, let's see. I had to come up with a title super fast here. We were a little bit late today. Scheduled this like 20 minutes ago. Sorry for that. But building a lifestyle brand, I think that's pretty fair, right? SolFiends.
Yeah, that's fire, man. I noticed the title. I think that's great. Fits our project very well.
Awesome. I got from Wolf a little brief. You're a little bit secretive in the Discord and everything, so I have a little bit. So I got a little light paper there. So I've been reading a little bit, but I'm happy to hear from you guys as well.
Yeah, man, definitely. I appreciate you guys for having us. And yeah, we're just, man, with the information right now, we're being super strategic with how we're releasing things, focusing a little bit more on our lore and just kind of, yeah, like you said, being a little bit mysterious about things. But in the end, like I showed you, we have quite a few things to release in the coming few days and weeks and even months. So super excited about that.
Let's dive into it. Let me just pin the spaces as always, so you guys can lick it. That's what I like to say. But I mean, you can invite anyone you want to. Uh, I see Max is with us on stage. That name is pretty straightforward. But who's on the SolFiends account? Do you have a name?
Yeah, it's Wolf here. Yeah, so yeah, I'm accompanied by Max. He's rocking that SolFiends Trippin' Ape Tribe Fiend. That thing is fire.
Wolf, you're from. I saw you rocked a mutant, right? So you're from E.
Yeah, I mean, I'm both. I definitely started my journey in ETH about a year and a half ago. My mutant at this point is kind of my digital identity, so I don't really want to switch it. Plus, I mean, it's probably one of my more prestigious, I guess, NFTs. So got to support the brand.
Welcome, Max, as well. How are you doing?
Good, good. I appreciate you guys having us. Yeah, super excited to kick it with you guys.
Exciting. Let's start it. We got some people here. Hopefully, more to come. We're also recorded, so let's not hold it back. We had. I was going to tell you. Did you guys see the news yesterday? Let me read it. I have it in front of me here. Huge news, in my opinion. Facebook and Instagram have integrated support for Solana NFTs. In the Instagram app, go to settings, click digital collectibles, connect your Phantom wallet. The integration will roll out over the coming days. Get ready to showcase your favorite NFTs. That's crazy.
Dude, it is. Instagram has gone such a long way from like kind of being whatever about NFTs. Then they started hating NFTs and just kind of removing everything NFT related from their platform. They completely banned the NFT account, like at NFT, which was backed with by Mark Cuban, for some like regulation. And I guess they weren't like making it clear that a lot of their posts were sponsored and stuff. But I'm glad Marky Mark finally changed his mind and freaking integrated NFTs and made it accessible for even artists to be able to sell their NFTs on Instagram. That's huge, man. Instagram's a visual platform, so the fact that people could actually display their art and sell it and everything, I think that's going to fit pretty well on Instagram, to be honest. So super excited for that.
Well, and like the Instagram, Facebook, so I'm assuming Meta's buying into that as well. So how long is it before Twitter's going to recognize Solana PFPs? Because they already have with Twitter Blue, the Hexagon PFP integrated in with your MetaMask wallet. So, I mean, it can only be a matter of time before these circles could end up actually being something different.
Dude, I give that like 2 weeks. I think that's been so long overdue. And I hope Elon fucking does this right over on Solana because I'm ready. I think it's super important to have something that just separates a regular PFP from a actual, NFT.
Can't believe Instagram moved on Solana NFTs before they did. Crazy is that? I have never like done anything with NFTs on Instagram, only on Twitter. We'll see. crazy news. I think they have like 1.4 billion users, right? All of those guys are gonna buy our monkey JPEG soon. Can't wait for it.
Is that exit liquidity coming in? So it's not going to be us this time? Let's go.
Yes, let's see if the Instagram guys got some money. Perfect. Let's start it, guys. I want to dive into the project as well. We got about an hour to go. Welcome everyone to the 81st episode of the pod. We're gonna have SolFiend. Am I saying that right? SolFiends.
SolFiends. We out here fiending.
Sorry. I'm not actually not native English, so maybe that was straightforward for the guys like you, TK. But welcome anyway. I've been reading a little bit. Caught my attention. It's interesting. We're gonna have to talk more about it. As we said, a little bit secretive so far, but we know that this is what the Degens love. Got some good art going as well. YouTube channel. From what I just read, sounds like you guys are building a lifestyle brand, right? And it's to help cultivate, unleash, and control our inner adrenaline junkie. Let's see who that applies to today.
Yeah, I mean, we're super multifaceted, man. We actually just dropped a tweet where it's like a thread where we go through all of the different, pillars within the project. So it is definitely focused on lifestyle. But again, there's so much different utility. There's so many different facets to it. If you don't mind, I can pin that to the top. If you don't mind, we literally just posted it like a couple hours ago. But I think out of all of our tweets so far, that one for sure explains, more in depth who we are. And then soon we have the website release. So that's going to be super exciting as well, because we have a lot more art, sneak peeks in there, and just kind of showcasing just overall who we are, a link to our white paper and all that good stuff.
Please do. Yep. Pin it. Anything you want to pin. Let's get a sneak peek up there as well, so we can see it.
Let's go. Yeah, that's our vision by SolFiends. But yeah, if you guys want, I could do like a really quick rundown of who we are, our main values, and the main things that we're kind of writing for. Yeah, just let me know and I'll get started with that.
Yeah, no, feel free. Let's go. Give us a
Awesome.
introduction.
Yeah, so yeah, like we were saying, we are mainly a lifestyle brand, and again, we're multifaceted, and I would say we're driven by 4 core values, which are passion, culture, entertainment, and innovation. The passion is to create the highest quality artwork while also telling engaging stories that will help push the space forward and entertain the masses. It's crazy how a storyline just does huge things for people, and I'll get more into that in a little bit. But yeah, another thing is creating a special community and a culture that revolves around being a fiend. Also, providing the support and entertainment for our community at all times. This includes access to different services, alpha groups, tools, entertainment, and even access to a multitude of next level IRL events. And lastly, we're really making it a point to uncharted territory in Web3 and experiment with new ways to drive value and innovate into NFT collections and brands. Those are 4 of our core main values.
Perfect. Do you want to tell me a little bit about you guys as well? Where you come from and how you got into Web3?
Yeah, man. So we're pretty much the entire team. We've all been friends for a really long time. We've been part of different projects in the past. I was actually part of the core team in a project in ETH, actually 2 projects in ETH. I was a project manager for a really big and well-known project. I know a lot of my team here and a lot of my partners. They were part of projects, whether they were collab managers or community managers or devs, stuff of that nature. So we kind of met through just working in the same field, the same expertise. We've met in person. We've been to a lot of different events together. We've had a fucking dope ass time, and obviously, just all of us, we realized like we have so many skills, and we're so experienced in this space. So why would we not use this opportunity to create something great and innovate on Solana, which it seems like Solana has so much potential, but a lot of creators and a lot of founders on Solana kind of just fumbled that opportunity to actually create something great. And people were just doing rug pulls left and right. So they want to do something great for the ecosystem and, provide some value with everything that we're doing. But yeah, so like I said, we're made up of a bunch of people that have been in the space. Some of us are more ETH native, some of us are more Solana native. But yeah, we have some of the best developers. We're business graduates. I have a big digital entrepreneur background in marketing and just having my own Web2 business. We have music festival owners on the team, which is part of why we're so well prepared for all of our IRL events that we're going to be hosting and co-hosting and things of that nature. We also have some amazing storytellers in this team, or we have an amazing storyteller. We've met in person. We've been to a lot of different events together. We've had a fucking dope ass time. And obviously just all of us, we realize like we have so many, skills and we're so experienced in this space. So why would we not use this opportunity to create something great and, innovate on Solana, which it seems like, Solana has so much potential, but a lot of creators and a lot of founders on Solana kind of just fumbled that opportunity to actually create something great, and people were just doing rug pulls left and right. So we want to do something great for the ecosystem and provide some value with everything that we're doing. But yeah, so like I said, we're made up of a bunch of people that have been in the space. Some of us are more ETH native, some of us are more Solana native. But yeah, we have some of the best developers. We're business graduates. I have a big digital entrepreneur background in marketing and just having my own Web2 business. We have music festival owners on the team, which is part of why we're so well prepared for all of our IRL events that we're going to be hosting and co-hosting and things of that nature. We also have some amazing storytellers in this team, or we have an amazing storyteller. He's not with us right now, but he does an amazing job with our lore and all of that. So yeah, overall, we're just a bunch of creatives, people who have always just kind of done things on our own and kind of try to make our own path, whether it be through entrepreneurship or just, things of that nature.
Hey,
Oh boy, did that.
sorry, I wanted to give a big
Go
shout
ahead,
out to
Max.
our artists as well. We have 4 artists on the team, and they're doing a great job. And yeah, just wanted to shout them out.
Do you have anything else from the artists that you could pin off? I don't know if they've got their own thing or anything that you can show that they've done as well. Man, that opened up a box of questions. Your introduction. Do you guys know each other in real life, or is this all a Web3? We've known each other for a long time.
We met through Web3, but then we met in real life, and man, things just freaking took off from there. We've had some amazing times. We went to NFT NYC. We've been to Vegas twice for an event that our one of our partners actually threw NFT Moonfest earlier this year in Vegas. It was thrown at the same venue as DJ NFT, and then so yeah, we went to NFT NYC. Max didn't go to Hawaii. Yeah, we like the same friend group. It's crazy, man. The same group of like-minded people and just all of us being business partners and all that stuff. We didn't know each other 2 years ago at all, but Web3 connected us and made us into really good friends. So now we're so well positioned to not only just work together, but also just we like the same friend group. It's crazy, man. The same group of like-minded people and just all of us being business partners and all that stuff. We didn't know each other 2 years ago at all, but Web3 connected us and made us into really good friends. So now we're so well positioned to not only just work together, but also just grow amongst each other. And yeah, I think this is like a perfect example of just Web3 connections being put into fruition and becoming more than just like even business, but actually friends. These guys are amazing.
Yeah, I've met so many people along the way here in Web3. It's absolutely amazing the connections and everything comes that I've got so far, and I'm sure I haven't even thought about I'm going to get in the future. Um, it's good to see that stuff coming together. So, what is it you guys exactly want to bring to the ecosystem? What are you trying to do?
It's a lot of things, man. We're really trying to bring culture, or I guess switch up the culture from how things have been done in the past, or I guess just kind of bring our own little twist to it of what it means to be a soul fiend. Our ethos overall is just like taking no L's. It's really like there's a lot to it, but for the most part, like, we're feeding for success, we're feeding for wealth in every aspect. We're having fun, not always playing by the rules. So when people want to give us a hard time, we gotta stand up for ourselves, and we're not just gonna be here to just please everybody. Because when you try to please everybody, that's when you end up pleasing nobody. So we're really trying to establish ourselves as like something new, and not just trying to be here to just fucking, yeah, I guess, please everybody. Just be unique, embrace who we are, and embrace everybody who's part of the community, who wants to have that fiendish attitude towards life and towards Web3 in general.
So there's a couple projects that come to mind when you describe yourself. Is there any that you would compare yourself to? Because for me, I was thinking Trip and Ape and Money Boy is a mixture between that.
I mean, we love Trip and Ape, man. I wouldn't necessarily say, I haven't really thought about comparing it side to side with Trip and Ape, but we love Trip and Ape. That's why we have that fiend with Trip and Ape, and we've, collaborated with them in the past. But yeah, I mean, I'll take that as a compliment, because I personally, I mean, I hold the Trip and Ape, and I've always supported the team over there. But yeah, I think part of us is just trying to establish our own unique identity. So I don't think we're necessarily, um, taking much inspiration from like existing projects per se. But yeah, I think, you know, being compared to Trip and Ape is definitely not a bad or a something like too far fetched. I fuck with Trip and Ape.
Right, yeah, because I mean that's just from everything you were saying. I was picturing a mixture between that because of the lore and the art, and then everything else you were saying. It kind of reminded me of Solana Money Boys when they first started. Kind of a mixture between those two is what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the real life part, right? Was it? I think we had a big spill about this in another space, but I'm just gonna hand you the question. There's obviously some like mixed thoughts on the whole like real life thing, because a lot of people come to Web3 because they want to move into the metaverse. But we have a lot of like real life events happening. I would love to attend some. I haven't done it yet. Like Lisbon, is it Lisbon right now? Isn't that
Yeah, that's right. It's
happening?
right now,
Yeah.
right now.
Yep. So what do you want to do like in real life, and what's your take on this? Like why, I guess, why because you're building in Web3, but you're doing it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different reasons I would say. Number one, I would say, is just the way we're positioned and the resources that we have. Like we have the resources to actually make it happen, and to make it big, to make it new, to make it profitable, to make it dope. Like I don't want to compare with other projects, but like if we actually have those resources, those connections, and that experience to do something new, to make events that are not just like, yes, they're going to be, music events. They're going to be events where, it's kind of like the typical event, but if we could also make or host other sort of events where it's, having like extreme sports or skating, or just, man, we have so many different connections and so many different ways that we can go about this, that I think it could bring like a new connotation to like what events in Web3 are. Number two, I think, yes, there are mixed opinions. There are people who'd rather, stay home and not come out of their shell in person, and that's completely fine. They don't have to come. But me, I'm someone who's always worked online, right? And so has the rest of my team. But we really, really, truly enjoy going to an IRL event. And I feel like a lot of this space could also agree with that. Maybe not everybody, we don't necessarily, like I said earlier, aim to please everybody. I think that's literally impossible. I do think there's a huge market for it, connotation to like what events in Web3 are. Number two, I think, yes, there are mixed opinions. There are people who'd rather, stay home and not come out of their shell in person, and that's completely fine. They don't have to come. Fine. They don't have to come. But me, I'm someone who's always worked online, right? And so has the rest of my team. But we really, really, truly enjoy going to an IRL event. And I feel like a lot of this space could also agree with that. Maybe not everybody, we don't necessarily, like I said earlier, aim to please everybody. I think that's literally impossible. I do think there's a huge market for it. And number three, if we can actually make it profitable and make it, an additional revenue for the project as a whole, then I think, overall it's a no-brainer. So yeah.
Cool. So what's the main thing that makes you attracted to doing it in Web3? Is that kind of the community aspect? of Web3?
Yeah, I mean, everything about Web3, man, is completely different. And I do think, like you're saying, the community, um, just the culture of Web3 and everything that it entails is a lot more attractive for everybody overall. Yeah, I think everything moving forward, like for this whole entire team, is just going to be focused on Web3. We want to make sure that Web3, um, that that we provide value to Web3. We definitely see it as the future. We see the potential in the tech and NFTs and everything. So everything that we do moving forward, we just want to make sure that we're in this space and that we're contributing to Web3.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy you're here, building on our home, Solana. Um, awesome. I read a bit about the foundation. Is like a platform, right? Called the foundation. Do you want to tell me about this?
Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. Max, do you want to talk about that? I know you like talking about the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation is just it's the parent company of SolFiend, so we're going to use that to facilitate the live minting tool, and those will be like brother and sister. Like it's just something we can use to connect people and connect each revenue stream and make everything tie in together.
Cool. I have some more questions on that, but I see that Peter, you have your hand up, so feel free.
Thanks. Yeah, I have a clear image of the vibe, right? Of the community. I think it's really cool. I went quickly through some of the foundations, and you had something over there that said push for non-destructive behaviors or something like that. So I'm in of the vibe, right? Of the community. I think it's really cool. I went quickly through some of the foundations, and you had something over there that said push for non-destructive behaviors or something like that. So I'm interested in hearing more about that. The other one is exactly when we get your NFT, what are we getting into? Like, are we becoming part owners? Is it a DAO? Is it an exclusive membership to a closed community? Is it a token that gives me discounts for further things down the road? Is it just art to buy it with you? What is it exactly? Is it rev share?
Man, those topics we're being extremely careful about just because of the legalities of it. We have a legal team, at least with the rev share and all that stuff. We have a legal team that we're working with, and we just want to make sure before we release any information that everything is right. Because, I mean, this thing, man, I don't think people realize, like, it really is. It's no joke at the end of the day, and regulations are only going to get tighter and tighter. So everything that we do, we're being extremely careful about it. We want to make sure it's said, it's done, it's built right. So those sort of things we're not really talking about yet. But for your other questions, in regards to your first question was on the what was it on about, like the support that we give our community and stuff.
You mentioned in the text something about pushing against non-destructive behavior, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that ties in with our no loss ethos, which is basically like we understand that this past few months have been extremely hard for people, and I feel like a lot of people made some they made some decisions that could affect them down the line, or even are starting to affect them right now, which are self-destructive behaviors by, I guess, not doing or not doing their proper due diligence before investing, or just not being extremely or at least educated enough to invest in some of these investment vehicles such as NFTs. So for those people who and I feel like it's pretty much anybody, we all kind of like to play with our funds and for lack of a better word, like gamble. So that's why we created our metaverse arcade. We were calling it a casino in the past. We don't really like the term casino, so we just switched the branding to metaverse arcade. and we're giving people that resource to be able to, use that to play games, bet, quote unquote, gamble, and be able to win or play these little mini games and these little slots and stuff, and have access to winning actual real prizes, but without having the risk of losing any actual money. So I think that's one of the ways that we're providing, alternatives to a self-destructive behavior instead of going out and investing in NFTs, investing in rug pulls, investing in projects that you're not even doing any research about. You have the opportunity to go play in our metaverse arcade, seek some entertainment, seek some gains, seek some, real life, actual, sponsored product that we're going to be giving away, without the risk of losing any money, which will come with, real life consequences.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Cool stuff, guys. Yeah. I'm curious, like, what are some type of real life events you want to do? Like, we're gonna do something for NFT NYC. Yeah, what are some big events you would like to do?
Yeah, I think we want to show presence at, most of bigger events within the US, since all of us are US based. So yeah, I think NFT NYC would be one. Even like NFT LA, those sort of events. Like I think we'll definitely use our connections and use our network to be able to be present and make some noise at those sort of events. Another thing that we're doing is we're partnering with different Web2 companies or different entities globally to potentially co-host or sponsor events all around the world. So us physically, the founders, we probably, all of us might not be able to make it. Maybe none of us will be able to make it, but at the very minimum, we'll be able to get our holders access to these events by, like I said, sponsoring them or whatever it is. So that even if you're not from the U.S., even if you're from Europe or Asia, wherever it is, even like that event in Lisbon, we'll be able to do something for our holders over there as well by the whatever partnership that we come about with projects over there or with different entities that are going to be hosting the event.
Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool. I also want to say to all the listeners, like, if you guys have any questions, feel free to come up. Um, so what are some partners you're, I guess, looking for? Or do you have partners today? You mentioned one earlier.
Yeah, I mean, the two main core, I wouldn't say partners, they're like actually part of our team, are NFT Moonfest, which was the event that took place in Vegas at Area 15 earlier this year. Um, and then we also are directly working with the Cabana Group. And the Cabana Group is a festival organizing and sponsorship fulfillment entity, which, that's what they focus on, is organizing festivals, getting the artists, just pretty much everything. They did a festival recently in Hawaii where they had like really big artists like Tyga, Janae Eiko, Made in Tokyo. Yeah, so definitely, this event company, it has the resources and the connections to like make some big things. But yeah, so those are the two main ones. But aside from that, we're also partnering with, like I said, other projects and other, just connect. Recently, we were at DJ NFT. We partnered with Valhalla Labs to be at DJ NFT and have a booth there, and we gave access to all of our Discord members, since we don't have holders yet, to go to the event and pop in and chill with us over there at Vegas just a few weeks ago.
Cool. Once, what's up?
Hey man,
Come on.
I'm here, man. It's good. First, I would like to say, well done. I like what I hear. It's all good, all nice. But about the Discord, is there plans to get marketing on to get hype in the Discord? Because I see about 2,000 members and only 700 online. Doesn't look good to me. And what's
Yeah,
the plan for Discord?
yeah. So I would say the main things with Discord is we're not too focused on how it looks in terms of numbers, because numbers can be faked. And yeah, it's super easy for us to go and, you know, get a bunch of bots or even get a bunch of quote unquote real looking people, do a bunch of giveaways, whatever it is, get a bunch of numbers in there, hire some chatters, and then make the Discord pop in. No problem whatsoever. We can play that game. We don't want to. We don't care to. Yes, it's important to have an image, an outside image that the project, that there's demand for the project. So we understand that that's going to be important, but we understand that that's going to come organically and there's no reason to fake that. So that's number one, which I think a lot of people in the space, especially people that are looking to invest in NFT projects, they don't realize that it's done so often that those, metrics are faked. And then that's kind of how they get wrapped in investments, which end up not paying off for them. But number two, I don't think we're really doing many, we're not taking any big action to keep the Discord, quote unquote, like active. I don't think we necessarily need to have our members talking in there all day. If they don't want to talk, they don't have to. We've ran a few contests and a few different things to keep the community engaged. But like I said earlier, we're kind of in the stage of our project where we're not even near our mint. We haven't dropped a lot of the, I guess, important information or just fundamental information that people want to see. We haven't even released our website, which is done, but we just haven't announced it yet. And the reason why is because we're just being strategic with how we release everything. And with that said, like, I don't think, again, we mind if the Discord's active right now. We know that once we release all this information, it will begin to pick up and organically, things will start to look better. So as of right now, yes, there's plans to make sure that from the outside, our entire socials, whether it be Discord, Twitter, everything looks great. But at the moment, again, we're being super strategic with how we release everything, how we move. So it's not really something that we're too concerned about.
I really like hearing that. If you wanted to go a little tighter on that and clean your Twitter and clean your Discord of bots, if you ever do get botted, because that is something like he mentioned your Discord numbers. It's something that I look at as Twitter numbers, Discord numbers, all the engagements from all of your announcements. Because if it shows you have, say, 30,000 people in your Discord, because if you botted it or somebody bought it, and you only have 110 reactions, 1,000 reactions on it scales. And like, yeah, it's nice having a lot of those quote unquote numbers, but it's not really like to the people that are looking like, oh, you can clean these numbers up. There's things that can be like, okay, well, we've kicked out this many bots in Discord and on Twitter. I feel more comfortable minting something that has 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 on either opposed to 100, or 60,000. But that's just my opinions.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I see it. Well, thanks for the explanations. I understand now. Well, for me, I'm staying. I'm here to stay. I always stay in NFTs. I just buy NFTs for fun. I don't flip. I don't sell. Just so. I just wanted to know. That's all. Thanks for speaking. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it
Thanks, man.
was.
It would be funny to see how many projects actually. I think a lot of projects bought them because we have in the pod our Discord is usually uh, like we do not care so much for engagement. Like we're here on Twitter, we're doing this, but when people talking, there's more like, okay, what's this project, blah blah blah, and then sometimes we have, I think, at least a few times a week, and I think you get this as well, Wolf. People come in my DMs asking, "Hey, I want to help your Discord to come alive so we can be in there chatting." Like, what the fuck, dude? This is. I'm wondering how many guys actually do this.
Dude, nowadays, um, when you're creating, like when you're launching an NFT project, it's sad. But 99%, or I don't want to, say 9, but like I would say 90% from my experience and the people that I've talked to and what I've seen, because I have a pretty good eye for it. I go through people's Discords, Twitters, and I just kind of, you know, go and examine. And I'm like, this shit is just not adding up. Kind of how TK Zims was saying, like with the reactions, with the likes and the engagement and the amount of followers, just it does not make sense, right? So it's sad, man, because nowadays their budget, their like marketing slash like starting budget accounts for botting their accounts and for getting a certain amount of followers, and it's like it's such a normalized thing nowadays. that it's actually sad. Like, but again, we're not trying to do that. And I feel like the smart people, the people who we want to attract, know this nowadays, because I feel like it's something that's been used so.
Care so much for engagement. Like we're here on Twitter, we're doing this, but when people talking, there's more like, okay, what's this project, blah blah blah. And then sometimes we have, I think, at least a few times a week, and I think you get this as well, Wolf. People come in my DMs asking, "Hey, I want to help your Discord to come alive so we can be in there chatting." Like, what the fuck, dude? This is. I'm wondering how many guys actually do this.
Dude, nowadays, um, when you're creating, like when you're launching an NFT project, it's sad. But 99%, or I don't want to, say 90, but like I would say 90% from my experience and the people that I've talked to and what I've seen, because I have a pretty good eye for it. I go through people's Discords, Twitters, and I just kind of, you know, go and examine. And I'm like, this shit is just not adding up. Kind of how TK Zims was saying, like with the reactions, with the likes and the engagement and the amount of followers, just it does not make sense, right? So it's sad, man, because nowadays their budget, their like marketing slash like starting budget, accounts for botting their accounts and for getting a certain amount of followers, and it's like it's such a normalized thing nowadays, that it's actually sad. Like, but again, we're not trying to do that. And I feel like the smart people, the people who we want to attract, know this nowadays, because I feel like it's something that's been used so long. So at the end of the day, we're not gonna, go down to that level just because we want to seem like we're more on, in demand or whatever, and do some shady shit. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're confident that we're going to be able to attract the right people. We have the right resources and connections, and just everything to actually attract real people. We don't need to fake the numbers. So when those things come into play, when our actual marketing, not that we haven't been marketing, but when we go a little bit heavier on the marketing and on the information that we're releasing and everything, starts playing out, then things will move. So we're not going to be too worried about how things are looking right now. Like I said, we're not our mint is not anytime soon. So yeah.
Well, I could give you probably some of the best marketing advice for free right now. Start hosting Twitter Spaces under that account right there. Have someone who knows as much about the project as possible. Make them your Twitter host on the SolFiends account. It's weekly, bi-weekly. I would try to do it a lot, but it takes a lot out of a person to do and be on Twitter Spaces, even if it's an hour once every other day. I would highly recommend getting a voice known behind that account and someone consistent there that they can jump bi-weekly. I would try to do it a lot, but it takes a lot out of a person to do and be on Twitter Spaces, even if it's an hour once every other day. I would highly recommend getting a voice known behind that account and someone consistent there that they can jump on Twitter. Just how you pay a Discord community manager, you should pay someone to be a Twitter community Spaces manager.
I agree, TK. I completely agree. Spaces is, I think it was underrated. I think finally it's becoming to the point that people are realizing how important and how great and just ease the connections could come from Spaces. But man, you bring up a great point. Come through Fiend Fridays. Fiend Fridays. This Friday we're gonna go crazy. So, or actually not this Friday. We're actually gonna do it next Friday. But this Friday we're gonna do like just the Discord AMA, just to let everybody know, and start just kind of spreading the word about next Friday. We're going to start our Theme Fridays, and then we're actually going to be hosting Spaces Tuesday as well. So Adam, TK, all of you guys, Peter, Once, everybody listening, you guys are absolutely more than welcome to come. We're probably going to kick things off with like something big, like a giveaway or something. So yeah, it's going to be dope. It's going to be a good time. So yeah, thank you, TK, for that insight.
Do your giveaway at the end, because if not, you'll have all your attendance in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then everyone will dip, and then you'll be able to see who's really there for you. I mean, we're talking about boosting numbers a little bit, but if you're going to give something away, at least they can do is listen to you for 30 minutes to an hour. I mean,
I agree,
that's my
man.
opinion.
Hey, I actually wanted to speak on something real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone mentioned revenue earlier, and I can say this. With the live mint tool, what we're going to be doing is finding, Web3 events all over the world, offering it to them, and then in turn getting, tickets for our holders, but also we will be taking a small percentage of each sale, which will directly go back into the metaverse arcade. So when it comes to winning prizes, like, that's one way we'd be able to share. I mean, like Oscar said, you don't put any money up, but like you just play the game and win prizes. So that's a sustainable way for us to do that, on top of like sponsorships for prizes. So I just wanted to mention that.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I'll be honest. I don't know shit about NFTs or what you guys are talking about. I just buy NFTs for fun. The metaverse like arcade. What is it exactly?
It's just an arcade that we're building that you can go in, play arcade games, have some fun, kick it with other community members, and just win prizes. Just a way for us to give back to you guys.
Okay, thanks. Got it.
Actually, a good question. Was I've been here for a year and I don't know anything about NFTs either, so you're not alone. Feel free to ask me anything.
All right, thanks. I like that.
Hey,
Interesting. Sorry.
I was gonna say we're all in the same place, man. I think none of us know anything about NFTs.
Right, we don't know, guys, and where this is heading. A lot of a lot of people like to share the hopium, and I pray for NFTs every day, but we don't know. We don't know. That's the truth. It's super exciting space to be in.
Yeah, I see that. It's quite exciting. This past few weeks, I started NFTs less than 2 months ago, so it's been fun. I've lost all my money, but it's been fun, I'll say.
So speaking of not knowing, with Magic Eden being able to throw us a curveball, especially founders at any given moment. Um, what are your plans after Mint if the royalties don't come back on Solana, which, in my opinion, I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think that's the big idea, is why we wanted to build a sustainable business model, is with this live mint tool that can expand. I mean, think about the future. Like, if we can build something that's so easy for your mom to mint an NFT just by swiping her credit card, I think we can take this, places, and really make this a huge type of deal. So I don't know, like, if we get royalties because someone wants to, pay royalties, like, we'll probably give that to our artists, because we want to build something sustainable. Um, so whether we have royalties or not, I think we're good.
Do you guys have an estimated time of when you want to mint?
We're looking at like late November, early December. It's hard to say in this market, but obviously we'll keep you guys posted.
So about a month out, hopefully things have settled down and you know if you're going to have royalties here in Solana or not.
Yeah, I mean, with the royalty situation, this is my personal opinion. Um, I think it's kind of, it's definitely not the best for, especially like whether it be upcoming or just recently launched projects. Mainly recently launched, to be honest, because they didn't really have like much of a note. It just kind of happened, and they launched and they probably expected there to be royalties, and they put that into the whole equation of how they were going to be bringing in revenue. But at the same time, like, I truly have always felt like, as an NFT project, you just can't rely on royalties. That shouldn't be your end goal. It should always be your goal to like make it an actual, almost like a business, or pretty much a business, and like create revenue sources, um, from whatever it is that
It is
you're,
a business.
yeah, like whatever it is that you're positioned, or where your expertise lies. So if you're just an NFT project and you never really made it clear where you were gonna, what direction you were gonna go, or as an investor you never really saw, I guess, ways in which the project was gonna make money, then why would you even invest in it? They're just gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's kind of like a dead end. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's not necessarily like, yeah, it sucks, whatever, but at the end of the day, like, it's not impossible to make an NFT project that can be sustainable through other sources of revenue. And if your plan was just never do that, then I mean that's kind of on you.
Just like we're moving into the real use of NFTs slowly but surely. Like we're so early in this, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have royalties in the future. I don't know, but I cannot see in my head like how could we ever have royalties on our pictures in the future? Like when this actually, when this becomes a mainstream thing, if we're actually here for the ownership and those type of things that NFTs and crypto stands for. Just yeah. We'll see, but talk about like, do you want to break down? We talked a little bit about it, but do you want to break down the web streams you plan for in your project?
Yeah, Max, you want to go ahead and do that?
Well, like I said, mainly the live mint tool. I really don't want to say too much yet, but that'll be a major one. Also, we are developing a event launchpad for other project founders and community members. If people want to throw in with our connections, like we're capable of getting DJs, event venues, all that type of thing. So we don't necessarily even have to throw our own events. We can host events for other, founders. Say a founder lives in Germany and he wants a event at ETH Denver. We're able to do that. We have connections in Denver. We have connections, all over the world, really. So we would be able to take a percentage of that as well.
When you say live mint tool, is this like a pre-mint, or is this when mint goes live, they're scraping it off the smart contract before it goes public? How does that work?
It's basically just what you do on your phone, minting. You can use it for a pre-mint. You can use it for, a regular mint. Like anything you want to mint, you can just mint directly, IRL, like just by credit card.
That's actually great. That's actually really interesting. Looking forward to seeing this in action. Is there anything? I'm trying to think. Is there anything like this on the market today? I don't think so. No.
There's things that are similar, but like they kind of just use the old-fashioned QR code and mint from your phone. And we want to step away from that. We want the most seamless, interaction as possible, just like buying a bag of chips at the grocery store.
Cool, exciting, guys. I'm interested in this. For anyone listening, we're gonna round it up very shortly. But for anyone here right now or listening to the recording, where can they go and find some information and get involved in the project?
We just posted our most informative thread. So it's pinned to the top of @SolFiends on Twitter. For now, the website is unreleased. It'll be coming probably the first, like Monday of next week. That'll have the light paper roadmap, all that good stuff. And then our Discord is definitely somewhere you will get early information. We've already, told everyone in the Discord about what's going on, and now we're deciding to bring it to Twitter. So if you want the early access on information, you would go there.
Amazing. Do you have a whitelist? Like, what do people do to get on the whitelist?
Yeah, for sure. Well, if anyone listening wants it, we appreciate you guys having us. So you guys can just pop in, say you're from this space, and we'll give it to you. But outside of that, just come in, be active, interact with other community members, and yeah, just show up. As long as you show up, you're likely to make it.
Oh, thank you. Go in there, guys. Tell them you're from the pod spaces. I'm curious, do any speakers have any last questions for the guys, Max and Wulf?
I would ask them, is there anything that you feel that we missed, anything that you want to tell anybody? Because we put this out on 12 different platforms. Anything they should know about you guys that we haven't talked about today?
I just want to say, man, we just got here, technically, the SolFiends, but we're fucking here to stay. We're gonna do some amazing things. we're definitely new, so that's why it's easy to get into the community. It's easy to make some connections in there. It's easy to make yourself known. So I would definitely um, just advise anybody to just come in, hang out with us, come to our next Twitter space, get to know us, get to know the project. And yeah, like there's no better time to actually make yourself known in the SolFiends community than now. So I would definitely invite all of you guys to do that, and to just stay in the loop with what it is that we're doing, because we're definitely here to innovate and to bring a shit ton of value to the Solana space.
Amazing. Thank you. When was this spaces? I'm going to try to be there. What was the date and time?
So it's going to be Friday. Let me see what day exactly. Friday the 11th. Beanly Fridays, baby. It's going to be a Friday thing every single Friday. The exact time we haven't worked out yet, but it's probably going to be like afternoonish. Adam,
Not
what
2 p.m. Eastern. Not
uh,
2 p.m. Eastern.
it might be around 2 p.m. Eastern. I feel like this is a great time. This is a time when I feel like a lot of people are on Twitter, and it's technically 11 a.m. for me here in California, but yeah, I think it'll probably be somewhere around actually 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, we'll try to make it Friday 11th. We try to hold a Friday is the we'll try to make a small space to give you guys room. There's a pocket for everyone. Yeah,
Oh,
Friday 11th.
yeah, if you're doing one on Friday, man, I definitely the last thing I want to do is compete with the pod. So, well, we haven't worked out the exact time yet.
2 p.m. Eastern is when we do ours. We've been what is this, episode 81, Adam? Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We are here to stay. So, but yeah,
All
keep
right,
doing those. Do those. I love to hear that. That is good shit. You're already doing it. Like that is going to do you very, very well, and you'll probably end up doing more of them because your community is going to want to talk to you more and more and more.
love it. Here's the move. We're gonna do the pod, then we're gonna do Fiendly Fridays after. So that's what it's.
That's the way.
There you
That's what I
go.
want to
3
hear.
p.m. Eastern. Let's go. 3
I'll be
p.m.
there.
Eastern top. Let's go.
I'll be there. I'll be
Yeah.
there for sure.
All right, you guys. Adam, TK, really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you for coming on. This has been super interesting. Happy to discuss some lifestyle brand, right? I saw that Jiraiya joined us. You're gonna host a space today as well, Jiraiya. Want to give all our community members a time to to tell us about their spaces. Jiraiya, what's happening?
What's up? What's up? I heard California, so I had to come up. And I think he said something about he's gonna contribute back to California or something, or give the California holders or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna give the California holders all water because we heard you guys need it.
That's a low blow, bro. Low blow.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Jiraiya, what part of Cali are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Central Cal. I live right next to Yosemite.
Okay. Hey, that's lit, dude. That's nice. You go to Yosemite often?
Yeah, like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, I try and do a little getaway.
Nice. I live over here like near Sac. Believe it or not, my man, I've never been to Yosemite, but it's been like on my to-do list for the past I
Bro,
don't
most
know how long.
Californians haven't, bro. We're bad Californians. So that's why I make a point to go as much as I can. Because before, like, 5 years ago, I only went when I went on a field trip when I was like a child. So I was like, what the fuck? Got all these foreigners and these tourists coming over here just for Yosemite, and I don't even go there. So I had to freaking, get in. But yeah, I was just happy. I listened to the pod. They kind of strayed away from their normal stuff. They were going to, kind of the dark alleys of DeFi, which is the Aptos and Cardano, which made me nervous for them. But I see that they're back on Solana, so I was bullish on it, and I'm happy to hear a Solana shill.
Yes, we've been on Solana for 2 days now. I feel such a calm in my body. But tomorrow I'm going to HPA again, so I have to step it up. But it's nice to be on Solana. Everyone is just good. Since Uriah didn't tell you guys about his space, he's going to host one in 5 hours. And Uriah is a great host, so I'm going to be there. Hopefully, if I don't sleep. But if I don't want to stay, I'm there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're all more than welcome to come, troll over here, hang out, rage, show your stuff. But it's a lot of eat talk and soul talk. Big boy money, that kind of stuff.
I'm going to shield Max and Wulf in there.
I don't think I'm cool enough, man. They're not gonna like my mute.
We're very accepting. We're very accepting here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna shoot you a follow on my personal Jiraiya. Maybe we can go to Yosemite one of these days.
I love it. I'm down to be a tour guide. I got John Henry coming. We're gonna go hit up Mount Shasta. There's some pretty cool podcasts we've been listening to about some spiritual stuff going on there. So I'm pretty stoked about that. He's in the military, so he has military training. So he's my muscle.
Amazing, guys. What do you say? Should we round it off? This has been amazing, as always. If you guys missed anything, or want to listen to anything else, or any other episodes, there's a lot of good ones. There's some good ones. I want to make like a top list, because we've had... We'll see. I'll try to do it. But go on all your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, all of those, and listen to the pod. As always, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, guys. Max, Wulf, for joining us, telling us about it. Peter, Uriah, good questions, and everyone listening. Follow the pod if you'd like to listen to us speak about stuff. As I said, tomorrow we're going to have H-Bar. Let's see what those guys are up to. Hopefully Sarah is going to tell us about personal access. I've only had like 5 minutes listening to you about this, Sarah. I need you to tell us about it. A lot of H-Bar friends is going to come there. We're also sponsored by Hyperlaunch, who's building a permissionless launchpad. SolFiends. I want to see you guys launch on Hyperlaunch when it's time. It's going to be, by that time, hopefully this week, it's going to be fully out. You can just go and upload your art and everything. Get your... you can customize your minting page to get it exactly how you want it. You can do it yourself. So excited for that. Perfect. Thanks again.
Until all right, John. Thank you. Let's fucking fiend.
Let's fucking fiend. Let's go. See you guys.
Bye. See you. Thanks for having us.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking a find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride and shit. I'm straight. I'm on my way, get on my way. I'm running late. What can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, judging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring. That's got 20,000 deep up in the street.
Are we doing after party today?
Yeah,
man. I want to see you guys launch on Hyperlaunch when it's time. It's going to be, by that time, hopefully this week, it's going to be fully out. You can just go and upload your art and everything. Get your... you can customize your minting page to get it exactly how you want it. You can do it yourself. So excited for that. Perfect. Thanks again. Until
All right,
next
y'all.
time.
Thank you. Let's fucking fiend.
Let's fucking fiend. Let's go. See you guys. Bye.
See you. Thanks for having us.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking a find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride and shit. I'm straight. I'm on my way, get up my way. I'm running late. What can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, trudging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring. That's got 20,000 deep up in the street.
Are we doing after party today?
My mama told me never bow your head.
Yeah.